I promised the American people that help was on the way.
We all remember President Biden's big American rescue plan. It's known as ARPA, federal money meant to help folks recover from COVID.
Got it.
At Harris County, we got nearly $1 billion.
We are hooked on ARPA. It's funding, it's paying for things, it's started programs.
But the pandemic ended almost 3 years ago. So why are we still spending the money instead of sending it back to Washington, to taxpayers? And we aren't the only ones asking questions.
In a few short months, it's going to be the federal government asking the same blessed questions.
On December 2nd, we noticed that Harris County still had $131 million left to spend. We think that what we've uncovered would make the perfect headline for a guy we all know by now.
The chainsaw for bureaucracy.
We've looked all over the Dolce Vita Media headquarters for our chainsaw, but we can't find it. But we do have a blower. Let's blow the bureaucracy apart. Nobody's watching. We think Rodney Ellis and Lena Hidalgo and that group of tax-raising, big-spending folks downtown would love our newest idea. We can become the Doge of Harris County.
I am become meme.
London the barber shapes the hair on the heads of his customers on Glenmont Drive.
I'm a master barber. I've been in business for over 13 years.
COVID was a rough time for him.
That affected my business. I couldn't work for almost a year.
But that's long over. The Harris County Department of Economic Equity and Opportunity, our local version of DEI. They had a sweet deal for London. Harris County would pay so he could complete 30 hours of business training. He'd then get a $5,000 ARPA government grant. And surprise, surprise, it's the folks at BakerRipley who got one of the 2 contracts to spread business wisdom.
BakerRipley sent me through a program. I believe it was the Verizon Wireless Grant Program.
Here's that Verizon website.
Email marketing is a great tool for reaching customers.
We took a closer look, and boy, there's a problem. Turns out London's customers are the only ones getting clipped. Taxpayers, you're getting clipped too, because those Verizon videos, anyone can watch them. They're absolutely free to watch. And London says it was the majority of the training he got.
I believe at least over 40 hours, I believe.
Yet BakerRipley is getting paid up to $2 million to provide business training to 400 small companies. The scope of work doesn't spell out how much they're being paid per hour, but we do know you have to take at least 30 hours of classes to get that $5 grand. So let's get out the Dolce Vita Media chalkboard. It looks like we're paying BakerRipley an average of $167 an hour. Wait a minute. For videos you can watch for free?
Visit BakerRipley.org.
BakerRipley ignored our phone calls. And the folks here at Equity Headquarters downtown, they won't answer a single of our questions, including the boss, Estela Gonzalez, who makes $259,000 a year. You know where she worked before she came to Harris County? Take a guess. BakerRipley.
Judge, what I want to do is create a new department, and I want to call it the Department of Economic Opportunity and Equity.
The Equity Department didn't start doing any business until 2021. Their mission to connect, quote, women, minority, and disadvantaged business enterprises with Harris County contracting opportunities.
The DEO has significantly slowed down our ability to get projects bid.
At last count, 68 people work here. There are more managers than workers. 15 of those managers make more than $100,000 a year. In 2021, DEO cost taxpayers $1.5 million to run. 4 years later, guess what? The budget has ballooned. $8.7 million. That's an increase of 500%.
We just can't tolerate. We can't afford it. Whether that's ARPA wasting money or US aid wasting money.
Why don't we just pop the balloon. Requirements to qualify for the business training program included being in business by January 27, 2020. Makes sense. Being registered with the Secretary of State. But is anyone making sure that happens? From our spot check, the answer is no. But M Group Media did qualify and celebrated when the owner completed 72 hours of training.
And because I've been working on my small business certification, so that's where I learned about the BakerRipley classes. Okay. And about the grant.
The company owner, half of her time was spent watching videos on what's called Kaufman Fast Track. Here we go again, folks. They're free too, paid for by a private foundation.
Rhodes Consulting Group for Harris County. Please press 2.
The second vendor in this Harris Hub business program is Rhodes Consulting. Their headquarters isn't in Houston. It's way up in Boston, Massachusetts.
So Black, Latin, minority, women-owned, all of those business.
Okay.
Have the priority to receive the technical assistance.
And they're not charging money for you to watch any free video. They do the training with live people.
At this point, would you recommend this program to anybody else?
No.
Virginia Manning is a licensed professional counselor. For her business, Ginman Consulting, Rhodes assigned a person to help her just with social media.
She kept her appointments. I say we met about 4 times. Now, I don't like the quality of the work that she was doing. And
another person assigned to help with business strategy. Virginia met that guy only once. He stood her up the other 2 times.
He wasn't acting interested in helping at all. He acted like I was a bother to him or something. I'm like, okay.
Auditors might want to start examining the Rhodes invoices too.
They billed Harris County 33 hours for working with you.
Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't complete it.
Virginia says she only took like 13 hours of training.
Guess they didn't know they would get audited. I mean, it's almost, if you're getting some grant money from the city or state, you should expect you probably will get audited.
Rhodes Consulting is being paid $600,000 to train 200 companies on how to be better. That's an average of about $100 an hour. But wait a minute, BakerRipley's average is more like $167 per hour. That's not very equitable.
Those are good questions. Somebody should be able to answer that.
We've been pounding the pavement trying to talk to other Harris Hub companies. Alfredo Alvarez, he started work with Rhodes Consulting last April, but we know his business couldn't have been hurt by COVID because it wasn't even created until May of last year. Equity may be all about fairness, but what we've discovered is anything but fair.
But believe me, the public is fed up with it.